want to talk to you about exercise, particularly midlife and late in life, and how it impacts dementia risk. Um, I've never heard a health professional like yourself ever say, well, don't exercise. It seems like exercise is good for almost every ailment, whether mental or physical, that we talk about. But what's the science saying about the impact on dementia in particular with respect to exercise?
But Arthur, what we're learning more and more about is the levels of exercise and how it impacts and different stages of life, which is incredibly important for women who go through many stages of life from reproduction to menopause. And when we look at this study, especially people in midlife had a greater response to physical activity, especially higher impact physical activity. So that type of physical activity where you might be breathless if you need to have a conversation. That's high impact physical activity. 41% decrease in dementia. For those who are over 65, the level of exercise was not as significant, but they also saw an even better improvement in dementia with a 45% decrease. Part of that is because why? Because as you exercise, you have increased blood perfusion throughout your body. That includes your heart. Your heart is feeding blood and oxygen to the brain. It also decreases inflammatory markers, which also are significant for the heart. And that also impacts the brain. So the brain and the heart are very, very, very closely connected. It's one of the reasons why when people have heart attacks, we see their risk of dementia also increasing. So we should not be surprised that when you exercise and you improve your cardiovascular health, you also are decreasing your risk of dementia.
Can you give us some guidelines in terms of how long somebody should be exercising for? You talk about strenuous activity. Are we talking 15 minutes, 20 minutes? How often, how many times a week would you recommend?
What we say with the American Heart Association, and this is changing all the time. I even have my own modified version, but 30 minutes a day to moderate high impact activity. If you're in midlife, we want to add some resistance to maintain that bone strength and muscle mass about twice per week. But sometimes it's actually hard to get out for 30 minutes, especially for those of us who work long hours and it gets dark earlier. So we talk about these little exercise snacks. Take a break for 5 minutes in the day and do something, going up and down the stairs or walking a bit outside, coming back, getting a brisk movement in for 5 minutes, and then getting back to your work. And then an hour later, getting up again and doing something briskly for 5 minutes. So those are little exercise snacks, and they also matter as well.